Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Art First. How you doing, Brian? Welcome. Happy Friday, man.
Happy Friday. How you feeling?
Oh, me? I'm feeling okay. I got the studio door, aka the garage door. It's just open for the first time in a long time, right?
Out.
I can hear the birds, which you guys can probably hear too. It's gorgeous. It's finally nice outside. That's how I'm doing. I'm happy about that, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, I heard there's going to be torrential downpour this weekend, so get that sun in while you can. But other than that, things are good. It's been a busy week of announcements and art releases, and I feel like surprisingly going into the summer, our space has a lot of momentum and activity leading into Lisbon. Not what I usually expect in the summertime. So, all the cycles are out the window at this point.
Yeah, I think and momentum in general seems to be, up across, like we were talking about in the last episode with Jules. Like a lot of different projects are coming out and being well received. And I don't know, it just the vibes still feel good. And like you said, going into the summer, hopefully it'll carry over just a little bit more than usual. Because I'm excited. We have a lot of stuff to chat about. But I don't know, man. I'm looking outside and I couldn't help but notice there's not only no rain, there's a nice blue sky out here. Yeah, almost no clouds in honor of our guest today. So I'd say without further ado, let's bring in our guest, who is photographer and just general, multidisciplinary artist who has created some really beautiful special things that, like everyday things a lot of people maybe take for granted. He notices, and I think it comes across in his work. And let's welcome to the show DK. Hello, what's going on, buddy?
Morning, guys. I am over the moon to be here with both of you guys. This is like I've watched all of the shows, and I've just always thought I would be really good friends with the two of you, and so I'm like really happy to start the foundations of what is hopefully a lifelong friendship.
Don't mess it up. Okay, we got this.
You nailed it, dude.
Yeah, man.
When I think of your work, similarly to like Jake Fried, for example, you're an artist who I saw their work and I thought I understood how it was made. And then when I found out actually how it was made, I was like, oh, he's doing it the hard way. And that changed all of my thoughts about everything you make now. And when I look at your work, I think about how you build it in that way.
It is really impressive. It is.
That's an incredible compliment. Thank you.
I think in a world of AI and uncertainty, there's a lot where it's only taken about a year for everyone to be really jaded by everything that they see online, especially when it comes to art, because AI came for art first, right? Well, I didn't know, pun intended, with our show. Yeah. But it really did, to the point where we question everything. And if things look, it used to be, is that computer? And now there's just a top level assumption that AI was used, had to be used. But your work, I think Brian's, nailed it. Like I didn't know too much, and I still want to know more about your work, because I thought CG was immediately, that was where my brain went. And maybe there, right? Because and because another part of your work, it's also very, for lack of a better word, clean. Even if you had, smudges on something, they're clean smudges. They're so intentional, but everything, it's a very clean aesthetic that you've curated. And so I'm going to pull up what might be your current like magnum opus, which is Blue Skies Forever, which is also from, I'm not gonna lie, from a marketing perspective, that's brilliant because it's so catchy and it's a beautiful way to, you know, to get the point across. But let's just take a look at this, and people can check it out later. But it's not going to come through on here right now. But this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a culmination of months and months of work for so many different pieces that honestly I thought were all just still photographs. And I think a lot of us thought the same thing until we started to see, oh my God, these things that we've been looking at for months, they're alive. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at?
It was a little over, I think, from start to finish. It took about a year, maybe like 13, 14 months, I think it was. And it was I had made the collection, like actually minted the first two pieces in 2024, I believe. And then I sort of stopped because I wasn't sure what direction I was headed with it. And I just stopped. And then last year I had a really fortuitous encounter with Sam Spratt, who essentially pushed me to, you know, make something outside of my comfort zone for him and Rachel. And so I kind of took a few months for me to figure out what that was. And I realized it was like I needed to return to the thing I had already started. And stepping out of my comfort zone was definitely going back to my roots, which is in filmmaking. I went to film school, but I got so like burned by it, the whole everything, the industry, the process, everything. It just got, that was my whole life up through college. And then once I finished graduating, that's when I sort of discovered photography. But so this was sort of a return for that. And it's funny, I've heard some people say that, where it's like they've thought that I had thought the images that they saw were just photographs, and then they see the video, when in reality, I think most, if not all of the works were actually finished photographs first, and then I went and replicated them in video. So I did it totally back asswards because I didn't know how, like part of it was I didn't know how to film these things. And that was the biggest challenge, is figuring out how to take the process of compositing visual film, like video, and you know, making these like surreal images fluid and incredibly difficult. And again, I really had most of this concept figured out. Like I knew what it was going to be, but it took me, you know, over a year to really figure out technically how to pull off some of these things. And I feel like it culminated in a way that was like sufficient, sort of scratching the itch that I was hoping to scratch. So yeah, it was a long process.
So the piece that you were actually commissioned, is that the long form video then of
Yes.
all of the, because it works as just yeah. So I'm sure, Brian, we have questions. I mean, to go backwards, I mean, first of all, that's wild, right?
It's stupid is what it is.
I mean, you know, look, I guess if you had that idea initially that this was, you know, what it was going to be, it would have saved you a you know, ton of time and headache. But there is something beautiful about tying all these works together after the fact, because it's not that they weren't related to begin with. You know, these aren't, you know, completely disparate ideas. But how, before we get into the video part, I really am curious about the photography part of this, right? Because I know I've seen some things where you've taken photos of, you know, elements, but like a piece like this, walk us through what this is, how you're doing something like this from photography. Is, yeah, just like kind of, you know, peek behind the curtain a little bit, if you don't mind.
Certainly. So this piece is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different photos, like 5 different like base photos. So the sky, the ground, the subject, and then the smiley face. And all it really is, it's not as well, maybe it doesn't feel as complicated to me anymore, but it really, all it is like knowing how to combine these things in a way that looks cohesive. So the main thing is just like the lighting, like the type of lighting, which the type that I use is always like direct sunlight, because a lot of the stuff is outside. So it's a hard singular light source, knowing where that is relative to the subject and where the camera's at, and then maybe like the placement of the camera relative to all of the subjects. So it's just figuring out, once you have the concept, like, you know, again, just putting the camera and the light source in the correct spot, and then snapping those, you know, selecting those 5 perfect shots, and then using Photoshop to cut them out.
Sure. Are you okay? So then, how much of this is practical in the sense that, you know, are you finding photos of the sky? Are you taking photos of the sky? Are you out in a field? Are you, you know?
I have for the sky in particular, any photos of clouds or the sky, I'm not even kidding, I have like an archive that I started in maybe 2023 of like, anytime I see an interesting sky, I take a photo of it, or usually multiples, and then I just catalog it. And so I have like, I think at this point, probably tens of thousands of just raw photos of different skies with clouds and times of day and stuff. And so when I have a piece in mind, like this piece that you're looking at, it's like I kind of know that I want some clouds that are like skewed to one side of the frame. I just sort of sift through my catalog and try to find ones that fit, and then that's how I get it.
And that's awesome. And they're all incredibly high res. And I also noticed that throughout your work, there seems to be almost no the depth of field is almost non-existent. It's very opposite from what you'd see in a lot of photography, a lot of shallow depth of field out there. But like, you know, just noticing that I can see, you know, every blade of grass while also seeing, you know, the figure clearly, also seeing, you know, everything in this is in focus. Right.
That's like an incredibly insightful observation. And that's like, I think I read an article or something about this, because that's also a big issue, or maybe issue depending on who you're talking to, but in film and like actual film and television nowadays, because so many things like backdrops are superficial now, they rely on an incredibly shallow depth of field to like make things look more believable. But like, if you go back in film history, like the 70s or the 80s, like you can see everything, and there's just such rich like texture and detail to everything. I always have thought that like provides a much more enjoyable emotional experience. So I try to do that with the photos. So I appreciate that you even are noticing that.
Yeah.
Was that text hidden in the blur? I never noticed that before.
So I built a site. It's blue-skies-forever.com, and you can go onto it, and it prompts you, it asks you that question, what do you want to leave behind? And I left that open for a few weeks, and I had over 200 responses, and every response, anonymous response, is in the trail of that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And these are, I think I saw on your Twitter, these are physical letters that you laid down. You had typed out, you know, maybe on the computer, but then did you 3D print these, or you found, you know, okay, so you 3D printed.
I had a buddy who 3D printed them out for me. And that was, so that prompt, that question is the question that Sam Spratt asked me in order, like, essentially to get the commission out of me. Like, he gave me a very nebulous prompt, but that was how he ended it. It was like, make the thing that you want to leave behind. Like, what do you want to leave behind? And so this was the final piece of the whole collection. And it sort of was me getting to turn that question onto everybody else and let others answer for themselves and sort of leave a receipt of that in the artwork.
Very cool. So with these 3D letters, you laid them on a table and spaced them out and kerned them and all that physically? Or is it printed as one giant chunk?
There is a they were printed individually, and there is a video, a little BTS video on my page. If you don't, it shouldn't be too far away. I think it was like last week.
Oh, there. Yeah.
But I have like I have a projector.
I see. I was like,
and then
that'd be so hard to align them.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
And even now they're not that. They weren't actually perfect, but I think I like the slight imperfection of it all.
Yeah. I mean, that's the human touch, right? That's like because
so the smiley face. Is that like a wooden table you painted?
Yeah, it's a tabletop. That's like maybe like a quarter of the scale that it is in that photo.
When you did the original composite, did you draw that smiley face digitally and then you had to make it physically, or was it always a prop?
I made it digitally, and I did the same thing where I projected it onto the board, and like once I started painting, I realized how silly it was that I was projecting. I was like, I can do, like, this is 3 lines. So like I got the basic outline of the mouth, and I was like, I'm just going to do what I wanted, like more blatant, just brush strokes on the eyes and stuff. But yeah.
Nice.
And so, but I imagine then, so is this you in the photograph?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you often the subject in the photos?
95% of the time, I think.
How many paper bags have you made? I have probably 10 of them at all times. But I'm also, one of the things I'm working on this year is really cool. I'm doing bronze. They're almost done, but I have 5 bronze paper bag like busts being made with different patinas on them. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So then, all right. So let's talk about bringing this into motion. Literally, going backwards and then saying, okay, well, how can you do this? So how are you doing this? Right. So like obviously you've got yourself, so you don't have to worry about, the subject. You can, film yourself. But are you using green screen, blue screen? Are you using, are you on location anywhere? Finding, did you go back to where you took the photo of the grass? Like, let's get our hands dirty with this one.
Yeah. That would be the only one that I went back to the grass to get the hill. And then I had video of the sky. But what's interesting, what I found out is in Adobe Premiere now, they've got really good, what is it called? It's like, it will like auto mask now, or like auto rotoscope. And if you have a clean enough contrast of subject to backdrop, so like even just in my studio with like a white backdrop, or actually another thing I found out in this process, which is so silly in retrospect, but like the blue sky is a blue screen. So like a lot of the things that I had shot, I could just, it worked out perfectly. And so most of the stuff that I shot though, like this is a good example of that cake on fire. I knew that I wanted to just, the easiest way to do that would be to be able to like not composite anything and be able to actually light a fucking cake on fire. And I was like, I don't know where I can do this, where I'm, where I have this set up and no one gives me a hard time about it. So I got an Airbnb in the middle of nowhere in Joshua Tree that had the same like white stucco sort of style house that I always have in my work. And I went there for like 4 days and I shot all this stuff practically. And I think that like, even that was all separate. I didn't even shoot that on the same day as the video, which is crazy.
Wow. That That's actually really awesome. So when you're doing these, is this just you by yourself doing all this with a tripod and a prayer, or is this with a tiny crew of,
it's all by myself, and it's like, it's funny, it's stressful, but it's still not, just slightly less stressful, I think, than if I were to involve more people, because something about having other people around, I just like, I can't think straight. I don't know, like, I don't know what it is, but I have not been able to effectively like be confident and like think clearly enough to execute with other people around. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like it's still slightly less stressful to like figure out a way to do it all by myself with no one involved.
Sure. I also imagine that, some of that allows you the space to create and mess up and get dirty and realize something that you thought would work didn't work, and you don't have to worry about wasting someone's time or feel like you're wasting their time because you didn't figure something out properly and you get there. I mean, filmmaking in general is figuring things out, whether it's collaboratively or by yourself, but that's interesting. Did you, like a shot like this, did you shoot these elements separately yourself? Obviously we were talking about the composite of it, but like, are you shooting the cake by itself to get the cake exactly how you want it, with, the flame going and blowing the right way? Or
yeah, I'm trying to think. For this shot, I might have either, like, the base photo was probably the photo of me with the wall, and then I picked the right one of the cake and put the cake in there, and then the flame is like, all the flames, there's probably like 8 or 9 different photos of flame in that. So I used a bunch of different photos of flames to like really just like beef up how much fire is coming out of it.
So then is that a composite there as well? Are you doing
so that's that portion with the cake and with me, like, there's no compositing in that frame. Okay. That is all practical, and like I cut out a hole in the top of the cake and put like a little aluminum foil like plate in there, and I just filled it with isopropyl alcohol, and you just light it on fire and it stays lit for like 2 minutes. It's crazy.
And you got to hope that the wind is blowing to the left.
Yeah.
Or maybe a fan, but like,
yeah, the wind was just blowing naturally that day, so it worked out good.
Amazing.
Yeah. I know you mentioned direct sunlight as your lighting. Are you using additional lighting sources? Are you setting up like lights? Because everything here is so well lit. It doesn't ever feel like you're in like a dark shadow at any point.
Most of I don't think that, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 shots in the video, everything is actually shot outside with direct sunlight with no additional light. Yeah. Like, that's outside. The only thing that I can think of that is in a studio is the very last shot of like the old man version of me. And that's like that was shot in a studio, but like obviously it's already super dark and silhouetted. And that was shot in a studio as well.
So then is this you dressed as the clown?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the worst. I mean, I hated that so much. It was fun.
Cap, or did you shave?
It was a bald cap, and it was a good, I don't know. My mom's a makeup artist, so it was fun to work with my mom on something finally, but like I was miserable in that. That is the worst. It's disgusting. She had to like, to get I didn't shave my mustache either, and so she had to like use a glue stick to like glue my mustache down, and it's just the worst. It was awful.
Wow.
Yeah.
But mad respect for doing it, man. I mean, and I will say, like, just not on a technical level, but each of these pieces that we're going through, when they hit my timeline, they instantly felt timeless, iconic, like they'd been there forever. There's something about them. Maybe it's the bloom on the dreamy aesthetic. Maybe it's, the simple colors, but the contrast, but something about it. really just felt like immediately I knew who it was, but also it felt like it had just always been there. I don't know if that makes sense.
That's the best thing you could possibly say to me, and I couldn't be more grateful. So thank you. That is definitely an aim, is to try to make something minimal, surreal, and like timeless somehow.
Well, nailed it.
Thanks.
Really. Are you is that a practical effect with the little, like, Vaseline on the lens, or is that a post bloom in Photoshop, or is that,
it's post. So what it is when I'm done with the photo, when I'm done with the whole composition, I will, you can make a duplicate layer of the whole thing and make it and have it be based on the luminosity of the whole composition. So you can take all the highlights essentially and duplicate them, and then you add a Gaussian blur to it, maybe like it's usually anywhere from like 20% to like 40%, and then you reduce the opacity on the blur layer, so it automatically makes those highlights look like they're blooming, as if you're using some sort of filter or something.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. What what building are you dangerously standing on top of or composited into?
100% composited. But that is funny. That is a wing of the like Daytona 500 like Speedway Museum or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Or is it Daytona, or what is the one that's in Indianapolis? Whatever that raceway is, but yeah. I was there for work, and I went to the museum, and I was like, that building, that hits my aesthetic. So I snapped that. So a lot of the times that's how some elements get included, is I just always have a camera on me, and I'm sort of just cataloging these things. So
do you have a daily carry? Like, or do you have a preference on what you're shooting with? Like,
I always, everything I make and everything I do is also the camera that I always have on me. But it's a Sony A1. I think it's just the Mark 1. I think they have a Mark 2 now, but yeah, just Sony A1 all the time.
Nice.
From a photography standpoint, what do you know? Like, do you have a preference on lensing? Like, are you shooting, like 24-105 or?
I always have a 24-70.
24-70, yeah.
It's the G Master, and that one's the Mark II, so it's way lighter, and it's can go to f2.8. But it's, I mean, that camera and lens combo, I rarely take it off, and if I take it off, it's for the 70-200. If I'm shooting something that's like farther away or something.
Yeah. Well, just to change subjects slightly, it's just been cool to see you evolve over the past year. Thinking about in Marfa doing portraits and setting up an indoor blue sky screen that you took photos of people with, or the physical drop you did with was it Gapi? Is that his name? Hopefully I'm saying it right. And then recently with this video, I mean, you're pushing yourself in the past year. It definitely shows.
That really, thank you, Brian. That really means a lot. I feel very fortunate to be here in this space, because I have so many really good examples to like look up to, you included, where like you've done a tremendous job of having like this, you cover so many different, like I wouldn't even know if I was trying to explain, like I would not be able to say like, oh, he's a painter or something. You're an artist that has a huge footprint, and constantly like evolution, I feel like, is part of your whole thing. So like even what you're doing in Lisbon, it's like, what the heck? Like that's, when I read that, I was like, that's so cool. Like of course Bryan Brinkman's doing origami roosters.
Influenced by seeing you and other artists doing interesting stuff.
I think it goes all around. We've heard this with other artists that we've talked to, and they'll be kind and say nice things about our work being inspired, but like we're inspired by everybody else too. I think that is one of the nice things about the group that we're all a part of. This this movement is that it still feels small enough that it's like, I don't know, it feels connected, and we see stuff and we're like, oh, I didn't even know you could do that, and I feel like that's been really cool. But he's right. For a while, a lot of your work, I would look for a yellow smiley face, a red balloon, a blue sky, and even then, it was impressive to just see, again, this is what I'm talking about with that cleanliness. Look at this, like there's,
I would have originally assumed this was a Blender render, just because, I've seen it's just so crisp. And because you use a lot of kind of flat, circular shapes that would I don't know,
lend themselves in terms
it'd be possible to do, but the way you do it has your touch on it in a way that wouldn't be as impressive if it was done in Blender.
Thanks. It all just comes from it has come from the just butting up against that thing of like having something in your head, like visualizing a composition and then not knowing of any other way to make things. So like, I don't know, I've maybe downloaded Blender once and just like looked at it and be like, holy shit, no, like I can't. So I'm like, okay, well, back to photography. How do I make that with a camera? And so like, over time it gets, you figure out all the little tricks and then it becomes easier. And I feel like I finally have just, because of the video, I feel like I've just learned a lot of those things with video, like how to do those things with video. And I'm currently really like, that's my autistic fixation right now, is making things that move.
Well, I think, looking, at our past guests, I would say the artist that we've had on is probably the most similar to you is Postwook. You're both kind of collage artists in that sense. And you're both using nature and kind of bringing things together and creating these surreal worlds with photos you're taking. But now you're, like you're saying, it's hard to describe what you do now because you're tapping into all these different other things and you're building more of a aesthetic than a specific style.
It feels like a natural progression. It's a funny, I don't know. I felt like I feel pressured to make these things, like try to, again, like evolve, because so many others around me or in this space are constantly evolving. And so like the part of it is like this healthy dose of competitiveness of like, all right, like how do we bring these things to life a little bit more? I think that's one of the challenges, one of the fun challenges of like being digitally native, is that it's like, that no matter what you do, the end experience is going to be on a very small phone screen, or if you're lucky, a laptop. And so you're trying to, that's the base constraint that really pushes, I feel like, the creativity is like, how do you want to make these things that feel alive somehow, or feel like there's a depth to them. And for me, going to video has definitely been an unlock of like trying to make things feel more real or feel deeper.
I would love a DK desktop wallpaper pack. I feel like your stuff is built for that, and it would be awesome to just have it as my background.
I feel like that needs to come with the next Windows update.
Yeah.
I'm just
DK screensaver.
I'm just saying, why not shoot for the stars, man? Everybody needs a DK wallpaper. They're great. They're great. Is this I just have a question. So with this one right here, did you make the puppet? Is it a puppet? Mm-mm. Did you make this? Did you find
you can get them on Amazon, and it's Matt Fury made them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so it's just like a plush Pepe. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool, man.
It's a good plush.
I no longer have it. I gifted it to Blondie, so it's somewhere in the Cayman Islands somewhere.
Living its best life.
Yeah, I got quite the upgrade from Phoenix, Arizona.
Nice. Well, speaking of other artists doing other things, we could take a look if you guys want. We could do a little show and tell and look at some other artists.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think you could have come up with a better transition there. Speaking of frogs, let's jump to the next segment.
Oh, dang. See, this is why he gets paid the big bucks.
Oh, my gosh. Right.
This is why he's giving a speech in Lisbon.
I'm done. I'm out. I mean, like, why am I even here? I'm just gonna hop along. Oh. Oh. I keep trying, Brian.
Good job.
Okay. Here, this part of the show is show and tell. Each of us has brought 3 pieces we've either collected or just think are really awesome, and the artists deserve a bigger spotlight. So we're going to show them. And at the end of the show, we have our Art First Show on Twitter account, and we will post all the stuff that we talk about today on the show, from DK's work to who we're about to see, and you can give them some love. So let's kick this off with something that DK has brought to our attention. Here we go. We're going to start with this piece, Life is Good. I think this is Degen Peen, correct?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful. See if I can zoom in. So what do we got going on here? At least why'd you pick this one?
So actually, now looking at it, I'm like, I don't. I'm pretty sure it starts for him as a photograph. I think.
It's okay. You don't need to know the process. Like, this is really just an appreciation, you know?
Yeah. He's someone, to give more background on him, I met him for the first time in Toledo for Sam's thing last August. And he's one of those people that's like super genuine and just like here for all the right reasons. And also someone who has had a very clear evolution. And like, I feel like he's sort of starting to hit his stride with his visual aesthetic, and he really got his flowers with this. Oh, no pun intended with that. I got, but he had done this. It's not part of this collection, but it was this. He had just released a collection on transient that got a ton of love, and I totally dropped the ball and reached out to him, and I was like, I missed the opportunity to collect, and he's starting this new collection that this is part of, and I was lucky enough that this was available. But it's just such a good. I don't know what he's doing, but it's it's like it just feels good. The colors are like, I don't know. I feel like he's found a color palette that is very him, and the subject matter is just like, it's just. I feel like a lot of times the art that I collect is very like easy to understand and just like really feel good artwork. So it's like, this definitely hits that for me. And I just love the title too. Very simple, like Life is Good. Like, I feel that, you know, and it feels like one I would like to have on like a large format frame or something in the house. It's just nice to look at.
Screen print too. It reminds me, there was, I forget who, but there was a few artists that were using these like kind of modded cheap digital cameras that they were like breaking.
Oh yeah.
And the pictures they were taking almost looked like this at times. It was like
that might be what it is, because he showed me a modded camera in Toledo.
Was it like a little tiny plastic camera?
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if that's how he's. Okay, yeah. So that's even.
This might be in camera for all we know,
which is crazy.
But yeah, well, hopefully he'll respond and let us know. But either way, even if it's a post effect, it looks really nice. I dig it.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I mean, even if it's not that, but if it is that, that's even more special. Just like that idea of messing with the technology to get something unexpected, sort of like chance photography. But either way, it's a gorgeous piece. And it's cool that you can tell there's, you know, it's rooted in a photography, you know, in photography.
My mind just goes to the top left is that like a forest of trees overhanging, or is that
No.
a glitch effect of the sky? There's it, it, it's caught my eye in a way that I'm like, I see the flowers, I see the trees, cannot figure out that part, and that part is what makes it so interesting to me.
Very cool, man.
It's the abyss. It's the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's behind the scenes, behind the curtain.
Cool.
All right. Very nice. Brian, you are up, sir. We're going to go.
I've forgotten. Oh, yeah.
Good kitty.
So this is one 1X Harsh. Occasionally he just airdrops me some cool additions. And I found this one in my wallet. And I just think it's a lovely piece. I love the effect. I love the idea. Simple, effective, and it's well executed. I like that you really feel the clicking. It has the animation to the push. And I love cat art.
So if somebody were to just randomly send you cat art, you wouldn't turn it away.
Exactly.
How could you? This is good.
It's always fun to like find a new NFT randomly in your wallet. This is not. I'm not asking people to send me random NFTs, but every once in a while, I'm like, oh, hey, it's fun.
Yeah, last month I got like 30 fake peoples. That was fun.
Congratulations.
I looked in my wallet and I was like, wait, when did I? No, that's not real. Thank you. And I had like 2X copies I never bought, and it's like, all right. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Let's we'll keep moving around. Okay. So these are artists that I did not collect from, but I saw their work and I just thought it was really cool. So let's see if I can move this on. This, as far as I know, is untitled. I'll apologize if I mess up your name. Macrogometti is the artist, but I love this. Like,
whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how it's made or what is actually happening, but the colors are beautiful. I love that. You see that there's like color separations like you would if you looked at the pixels on the television up close.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it from from right there. Just
that's pretty wild.
Beautiful abstract digital native piece.
It almost looks like it's like woven together or something. Like it looks like stitching.
Yeah, and I love that there's different patterns that are happening in here. It's not all just the same. It doesn't feel like apply glitch effect done.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like sometimes you see, like as someone who doesn't do glitch, and I see it sometimes, I'm like, that looks so easy, and then you look at this and you're like, oh, the level of intentionality is like so much more intense. Like, like
and not all glitch is created equal, right? I've definitely seen glitch where I'm like, okay, so that was something that you made and you just put a glitch filter onto, but when I see stuff like this, I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, but it's working. It's beautiful.
Because like it almost feels like there's like is there like a subject in there? It almost looks like there's like a figure or something that is getting like blown apart or something. Oh, love that.
Yeah. All right.
Well, maybe like a custom drawing app or something.
We'll keep moving. If I'll tag the artist, so maybe they'll see this and they'll give us a little peek behind the process. All right. Moving on to the next piece here. DK. This is Barfly. I believe is this Weeping Snakes?
Yeah.
MP.
I don't know if they go by MP or Weeping Snakes, but seems to be interchangeable. But I collected this I think it was last summer or something. But they've got this, I don't know I'm sure there's a name for this type of style, but it's almost like PS2 graphics, like little vignette style. I don't know what it is, but it's so good. Like as soon as I saw it, it makes so much sense to me because it's almost like it almost is like a photograph of a certain digital time frame that a lot of us grew up with. So it's like this, if there was a way to like do like documentary style photography of this like fictitious digital world that a lot of our memories are in, is like what this is. And like, it's just so cool. And I don't know why it's not more. I've seen like some takes on this at like some of the bigger like traditional fairs where like there are painters who like paint this way, and I haven't seen too many people, or not enough, I guess, people doing it in our space. But it makes a lot of sense where it's like this digitally native subject matter that's like embedded in our subconscious. Because if you grew up playing video games in the early 2000s, it's like it's there. And I don't know, I just think it's so cool, and I love the idea of like extrapolating those worlds more. And I think everything that Weeping Snakes does is all digital, like painted, like digitally painted. I don't think it's like real paint, but someone I collected from, and I really hope they have more work available. So I encourage anyone to go look at it. But I would hopefully I can snag some more in the future from them.
Yeah, nice. It's really cool. It's kind of got, like you were saying, like a Metal Gear.
Click on the collection. I want to see some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
They're so good. And that's also, I have like this, I'm super loving like people who do like subtitles in their artwork now. Like I just think it's such a good, I don't know, it's just something about it, man.
Huh.
Very fun. Cutscenes.
Yeah, cutscene. So good.
Yeah, interesting. Really cool.
That's good stuff. It's good stuff. We did it. Put it on there, man.
Painted textures on low poly.
Yeah.
Low poly. That's what I was trying to think of.
Low poly is, yeah.
Painted textures on low poly. That's
the example you first showed didn't look as much like low poly. It looked like it was like a velvet painting or something.
Yeah, right.
Seeing this makes more sense of what you're talking about with like the PS2.
Yeah, I see it though. Really cool. All right, Brian, awesome. You are up next. Okay. Let's stick with nostalgia because that's
what I do.
What we do. Let's go with this one right here.
Oh yeah.
Bastion.
So this is Bastion. He did this drop called Racers Inc. I think Bastion's one of the best nostalgia 3D artists in the space right now. And he told me how he made this, and I'm going to butcher it, but I think he scanned these cars maybe and then brought them into 3D and then re-rendered them or something like that. I could be totally wrong, but he did this collection of cars, and it's just a fun like return to Hot Wheels vibe.
So it's definitely not just like he didn't photograph it and that's what we're seeing. It is somehow modeled three-dimensionally.
I believe so, yeah.
I think they're all 3D.
Oh, that is so sick. Oh, are these available right now on like primary, or are those secondary?
They've minted out, now they're on secondary.
Oh my god.
So he was able to sell out the collection.
Did it just happen?
It was like a week ago.
It was like a week ago, yeah.
Oh my god, I've been living under a rock. That is awesome. I'm gonna get one of those.
So many of these are, I mean, I grew up with all this kind of stuff, but then like now I have a kid, right? And so my world, he loves cars more than almost anything and has for years. So like we are knee deep in these kinds of cars. So this is really cool to see. I love that. And I love the it's so well worn and played with, and yeah. And the aesthetic of this like product photography.
So good.
That's
good stuff.
That is. You know what? You're right. That's good stuff. All right.
Delta got that one.
Did he? Yeah, he did. Yep. All right. We have a couple more to go. Let's go and jump in here. I found this piece.
What the fuck is
that? Called Bulb of Youth by Crypto Lust. And just how cool is this? Oh my gosh.
Is this all 3D?
So I think this is all, maybe not all, but I think this is AI.
Oh, that's actually, I don't even
yeah.
know how.
That makes more sense because like, how do you even make that?
I mean,
Yeah,
it could be a mix. It could be a composite, right? I mean,
It could be.
like I think if you gave DK like a month and said
give me
I
2
don't know that he
years.
would be able to do exactly this, but like I think he could figure something out.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like getting these like X-ray. It's just and it's a beautiful photograph.
Yeah, it works really well.
Or
That's
image.
cool.
I love to see it.
The colors.
Yeah, great colors.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, it just stopped the scroll. I was like looking through and trying to find stuff. But really awesome.
Wow, what is the name of the artist?
Cryptolust.
Oh, okay. It does say AI and photography in the tags.
It does. And
no way.
It does.
So
Cryptolust.
That's fun. Huh.
Yeah. It's funny when, I've been here for a minute and you just, you see people pop up that, I just never heard of. And it's really cool to learn more about all these different artists that I never saw.
I agree. It's nice, nice to know. Yeah, I was going to say, nice to know that there's like still fresh things coming in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's an infinite amount of talented people putting stuff out there. The challenge is finding it.
Yeah.
It is getting harder and harder. I'll say that discovery is harder.
Which is crazy to think about. Like if it feels like we should not have that problem. I don't know the answer, but I just don't understand why it's such a problem.
No, man, I hear you. It is. Because once we figure out the unlock for that, it's it's game over in the best way. But until then, it's it takes time, and you gotta sit with things and share it, and like we've always said the best recommendations usually come from other artists.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DK, you've got one more up on your list here. And that one is a piece by somebody, I think, in the same collection we might have featured a little while back, as Artery by Adam Carity. I think these are all photographs.
They are all photographs.
You recommended them before, I forget.
I think it'll come back to me.
So many things to say about. I don't know if he goes by Adam or Carity or whatever, but Adam. He, first of all, some lore. He's from Arizona, and we both went to the same high school, which is awesome. But he does a really good job with making photos that don't feel like photos, but like feel like something else entirely. That's like it's similar. Like it's kind of in the same. At least this photo is very similar to Dave Krugman's Drip Drops. I feel like where it's like the way that the color and like the physics of the water and stuff hit the lens make it feel more like a abstract expressionist painting or something like that. And it's just, I think it's awesome. Again, probably impartial because he's a hometown boy like me, but I'll catch heat for saying this, but I think photography is like inherently boring. I think maybe it's because it's so accessible now. That's like most photography you see is just so uninspiring and like lifeless. I think it's pretty difficult to make something that's compelling visually. And there's just so much texture and like, you can just feel this photograph. And the whole collection is like that. I think this one sort of jumped out at me because I think I like the colors, but he sort of always does this sort of abstract stuff with a lens. And I think that's really hard to do. And I think he does it incredibly well. and you have 15,000 days to buy this.
Is that it?
Yeah, just 15,000 days.
If it's
left.
enough
So
time, maybe.
you better hurry.
I think it was Jen Panapinto that featured him. I think on our show, but really cool stuff. Really, that would be a fun process to learn about.
Oh no, Macbeth is already sweeping collections.
All right, here we go. We got 2 more to go. Okay, Brian, you're up with this NFT.
This one's by Ilya. I was honored to be a part of this collage, and I just always love these. It's fun to see.
Didn't they spell your name wrong though on this?
Yeah, they did. Hey, I didn't even realize that. Hell yeah!
You know what? Maybe I didn't know that.
Even
I didn't
better.
know that either. Maybe we should change your name, Brinkman.
That's when Brian gets drunk, he turns into Bryan Brinkman, and he's just a real asshole.
Brinkman, we're friends.
I was at the SNL party this weekend, and my tag said Bryan Brinkman. I have a growing folder on my computer of all the different TV show credits and posters that have my name misspelled. So a new one being added to it in a new way I haven't seen is always a joy.
Oh look, my project made it in.
Oh, nice.
That's fun. Yep, these are always fun to look at.
Yeah, some of our old former guests on here.
Yeah, man.
We had Pop Wonder on.
We sure did. And Mumbot, our first guest.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very fun. Thanks, Mr. Brinkman. All right. last but not
Thanks
least.
for letting me know that. Awesome.
There we go. Is this piece that I saw an object? This is from an artist, Tater Tots.
Already love it just from the name.
I don't know. I love this. I thought this was really cool. I don't know if it's digitally native. I don't know, if it's a scan. Doesn't really matter to me because I think it's great.
It's Tater Tots, dude. Don't ask questions.
It's Tater Tots. That's all you need to know.
Love the colors.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Sharp teeth.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool.
If that's not digital, or if it is digital, that's crazy because it looks so like.
Yeah, it's gotta be physical. There's so much debris.
Yeah,
and you can see the tape lines on the outside to a degree. I have to imagine it's pretty small based on like the size of the brush.
The brush strokes, yeah.
It's probably like.
That's so cool.
Like legal paper size or something. That's cool. Yeah, I really like it. What's the artist name again?
Tater Tots.
Tater Tots, baby.
Great
Tater Tots.
Great.
We're gonna go. Like I said, at the end of the show, we'll put a tweet out. All their art.
It's great, PFP.
All their art will be linked up.
Tater Tots killing it.
They've been pushing this piece, which is really dope, which I think they made.
Wow.
On the beach. It's really cool. I don't know. Yeah, there's media tab. Look
nice.
So good.
Sweet. Great find.
Very cool. All right, gentlemen. That is getting us to the end of our show. Before we go, I will ask if there's anything you got coming up, DK, that you want to plug or want to talk about, or any closing thoughts. 2 things.
I have two things to plug. One, if you're going to be in Lisbon, my friend Bryan Brinkman is going to be doing this awesome thing called Azulejo Gallo, and you need to go.
I'm still learning how to say it correctly.
I've heard of this guy. I've
been corrected a few times.
You gotta go check it out because I already have FOMO and it hasn't happened yet, but I'm not going to be there and I feel bad about it. You got to go check that out. It's going to be awesome. I guess people can still mint and not be there, right? Or no?
Yeah. So
okay. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone
it's split 3 ways: in real life, collectors, and public.
Okay, so there you go. That's awesome. And then, so secondly, my really good friend Adamtastic has a great collection on Ninfa right now called Second Nature. Stellar work, very like chromatically vibrant, classic Adamtastic. Go check it out. I'm pretty sure there's still some pieces available. Snag them while you can. And that's the only things I have to plug.
Man,
it's great art.
I appreciate that. Listen, it's working. The friendship thing, it's working.
Yes.
I think we're in there. I think you're in. Thank you, dude. I just want to thank you for coming and hanging out with us today, taking the time, really looking behind the curtain. Like I keep saying it, but like it's one of those things where we look at your work and we're impressed, and we just as artists we just want to know more, like we want to get our hands dirty too.
I appreciate how much behind the scenes stuff you post, because it adds to the overall feel of it.
Yeah,
dude,
it does.
Yeah, I try to be an open book, and just want to see more people doing things with like lens-based art. I just think it's a growing thing. We need to get more people to try it out. So yeah, but yeah, I'm again super thankful that I have the opportunity to talk with you guys. Love you both, and this has been awesome. Big fan of the show.
Amazing, dude. Thank you for coming, hanging out. Thank you to everybody who's watching live. Thank you for everybody who's watching on the replays. We appreciate it. And yeah, go give some love to everybody on the Twitters, and until then, next time we will talk to you all later, and remember to keep art first. All right. Take care, everybody.